And these 10 exciting discoveries show exactly how.
So here is my list of 10, and there's even more, 10 of the top discoveries, events, and openings in Egypt. So number 1, Saqqara and the tomb of Teti Nebufu, the wizard doctor. This was very exciting, one of the first announcements in January of 2025. And it was in Saqqara. It was not a tomb of a king or a queen. This was a high official, and he was the royal physician for Pepi II. And he was also the magician, conjurer, doctor for the goddess Selket. She is the scorpion goddess. I've got a statue of her up there, one of the guardian goddesses. Really beautiful tomb, beautifully preserved reliefs, very large for a high official, no body, no treasures, but the gorgeous reliefs and a lot of interesting symbolism around both daily life, but also medicinal and magical practices. Really gives a window into the life of a chief magician, dentist, physician, many of these titles in the 6th dynasty at the end of the Old Kingdom. Hatshepsut's Lost Valley Temple. Now this was amazing. This was announced in January. Hawass and an Egyptian team were behind this, excavating in front of Hatshepsut's mortuary temple. They found 1,500 gorgeously decorated blocks no one had ever seen before. And these showed reliefs of Hatshepsut and her nephew, stepson, Thutmose III, presenting offerings. It also, very interestingly, there were references to Senenmut, her architect and best friend forever, who did a lot of great things for Hatshepsut in court. And also, amazingly, they found the first set of ceremonial offerings, these foundation deposits that were placed in the corners of the temple. And this is the first complete set that has been found in over a century. Beautiful. These were tools and ceremonial objects that were buried there. And it goes on. This dig also yielded layers and layers under the earth of 17th dynasty, the tomb of Jehutimes, who was a servant of Teti Sheri, the great lady who was the grandmother of Ahmose I. They found children's burials and toys and all sorts of axes and weaponry dating to that second intermediate period, the time of the Hyksos. So wonderful layers and layers of beautiful finds at the Valley Temple of Hatshepsut. Number 3, the lost tomb of Thutmose II. Indeed, they had been looking for this final piece in the puzzle of the 18th dynasty kings. The last royal tomb that was discovered in the Valley of the Kings was, yes, Tutankhamun in 1922, but they still didn't have the very short-lived king Thutmose II, who was the third, I think he's the fourth king of the 18th dynasty, and he was the husband of Hatshepsut. He died very young. Where was he? Dr. Piers Litherland from Cambridge University and an English Egyptian team finally found this tomb a little outside of the Valley of the Kings. It was not beautiful. It wasn't like the wizard doctor. This was washed out, but it had some artifacts. It had Thutmose II's cartouche, and it was definitely the place where Thutmose II had been buried. We do have his mummy, but of course it was long ago moved. What gets even more interesting is this same archaeologist found a second possible tomb. Now this has mounds of rubbish. It still hasn't been investigated. We haven't heard any more if there's a second tomb of Thutmose II. So what does this all say? Well, it solves this puzzle in the final tomb of the 18th dynasty. And also, did Hatshepsut move him from one tomb or another? This was her husband. We don't know. But finally, we have all of these tombs of the 18th dynasty, the tomb of Thutmose II. Number 4, a lost king of the Abydos dynasty. Now we're going into Middle Egypt, the sacred area of Abydos, sacred to the god Osiris. Well, a team from UPenn State, Dr. Joseph Wegner, has been working there for some 20 years. Back in 2014, he found this king, Senebke, we'd never heard of him. He was the king of a lost dynasty, this Abydos dynasty, ruling concurrently with the Hyksos in this second intermediate period. Now, in the spring of 2025, they found another tomb, 7 meters deep under Anubis Mountain, this massive limestone tomb, different chambers, very large size. There's no body, but we don't even have a name of who is there. But based on its size and dimensions and design, this seems to be a king of the same line as King Senebke. So the mystery continues. More information on this lost Abydos dynasty. Number 5, back to Saqqara for Wasser-Efra. He was a prince, a son of Userkaf, 5th dynasty. So Saqqara, very, very interesting site, always yields discoveries. This time near that crumbling pyramid of Userkaf, the first king of the 5th dynasty, this fantastic tomb of his son. Again, we don't have the body, but we have a really beautiful tomb. And what's spectacular about it is this massively huge false door. I think it's 4.5 meters high and beautifully decorated pink granite. So this is very, very rare. And also statuary. Not only do we have 13 beautiful, I think it's quartzite statues of his daughters and wives, but we have 10 statues of Djoser's wife and his daughters. Djoser was the builder of the Step Pyramid. Djoser lived 200 years before. So now we have a son of King Userkaf preserving the memory of this first great king of the 3rd dynasty who built the Step Pyramid. Very interesting. Tomb of Wasser-Efra. Number 6. Let's move away from mortuary. We have a New Kingdom fortress on the Ways of Horus in the Sinai Desert. This is really an astounding. This is an Egyptian excavation working up north, and they found the largest fortress dating to the New Kingdom. And the purpose of this fortress was to guard the trade and military route between Egypt and the Levant. This is very, very important. And we found a piece of a jar handle with Thutmose I, one of the early kings of the 18th dynasty, attested to this fortress. Serpentine walls, major walls, huge. The whole site is 8,000 square meters. It is significant. And so we have soldiers' barracks, we have many bread ovens, we even have bread. We have all sorts of beautiful artifacts from this site. Karuba, Tel El Karuba in the North Sinai, attesting the fact that it was Thutmose I that was the father of the ownership of this Eastern Mediterranean trade and military route that would blossom under Thutmose III when Egypt really ruled the world. North Sinai Fort. Number 7, and I feel very excited about this one because I was there with a small group when this was discovered. Tanis. Do you remember the Indiana Jones and the Ark of the Covenant? Well, Tanis is a site. It was the capital of Egypt in the 21st, 22nd dynasty, and wonderful discovery made in 1939 by Pierre Montet of the silver and gold mummies. But this year, in October, Dr. Frédéric Peyrado of the Sorbonne was looking in this chamber of a burial of Osorkon II, 9th century BC, and he found 225 shabtis dating to a king 30 years later, Shoshank III. Also positively associated that granite sarcophagus unnamed with Shoshank III. What is going on here? We think this later king was reburied in his predecessor's tomb during a period of political fragmentation and problems during this end of the 22nd dynasty. Very, very interesting work. This is the most important discovery at Tanis since Pierre Montet found the silver and gold coffins, that wonderful discovery at the breakout of World War II. Number 8, the reopening of the tomb of Amenhotep III. Amenhotep III, one of my favorite kings, fantastic guy, great diplomat king. He was the magnificent. His tomb has been closed for decades and decades. A Japanese Egyptian team has been working in the Western Valley. It's not right in the Valley of the Kings. This is an offshoot where a lot of the Amarna period kings were buried. So his king has been blocked off. They finished the restoration in October, and you can go in with permission, which is exactly what we did in early November. Very expensive, I have to say, and you have to pay for the police escorts, but it is a magnificent tomb, one of the largest, very, very deep. And in the 18th dynasty, it's also one of the earliest. In the 18th dynasty, the tombs weren't fully painted, but the painted walls that remain are splendid, of the gods, offerings to the gods, and this full wall with the Book of the Amduat, this very early book from the books of Going Forth by Day. The shattered alabaster or granite sarcophagus has been pieced together. It's there, and there are rooms for his queens. It's a massively deep, very old, fantastic tomb, really worth exploring, but with permission, you have to pay a lot to get there. The reopened tomb of Amenhotep III. Number 9. Speaking of Amenhotep III, this was so exciting, and it was announced in December. And again, very close to our heart, Dr. Hurig Saruzian. We went and visited her site and met this wonderful lady in 2022. Colossi of Memnon. It used to be, if you visited 30 years ago, just these massive statues standing in a farmer's field. But it is actually the gateway of the most enormous mortuary temple of Amenhotep III. She has been restoring it with her late husband, Dr. Rainer Stadelmann. They've done incredible work. 2014, they erected the second pair of colossi that would have flanked the second pylon. And in December, the third pair of colossi were erected at the third pylon. These are in alabaster. And when we visited in 2022, we saw her working on these smashed statues. The whole complex had been destroyed by an ancient earthquake around 1200 BCE. And Ramses' son, Meremptah, had pillaged a lot of the site for his own mortuary temple. She's putting it all back together. The idea is, with these statues, which are alabaster, such a sacred material for this zone of sacredness closer to the Holy of Holies, she's hoping to create this whole site as an open-air museum, so we can really see it all. How exciting. And finally, number 10. Well, I don't think you're surprised. The full opening of the Grand Egyptian Museum at Giza. Wow. In November 1st, President El-Sisi had about 79, 80 top dignitaries, royals from around the world, come to celebrate the opening of the museum. Well, in truth, it's been open since 2023. Gradually, they're open different sections, the royal stairway, the atrium, and then in 2024, the 12 halls. But now, the Tutankhamun Gallery, almost 6,000 objects of Tutankhamun beautifully restored and displayed together in modern displays. You really can walk through the life and death of the king, and of course, all of his golden treasures. Also, the Khufu Boat Museum is now on display in its own museum. How exciting. The Grand Egyptian Museum is now fully open. We've waited 20 years, 1.2 billion, 100,000 objects. You must see it. I do hope this has sparked your interest in Egypt and going there. If so, I do tours every year. I consult on tours. Please reach out and stay in wonder of everything ancient Egypt. Laura Ranieri Roy.